Morning. Welcome back to the Big Thinker universe. Today we are going to talk about our avatars and their hot buttons. In past sessions, we've talked about choosing a niche and identifying who your avatar is. So, the last episode, we talked about picking our top three avatars. Today, we're going to focus on our favorite avatar. And for the record, once you've nailed this and you've got it so that it's working, you can go back and do this with other avatars. So this is not one and done. My advice to you is get really good with one avatar and apply the lessons from that avatar to the rest of your avatars. So I just want to point out this is a little bit of a quadrant. So in the upper left quadrant, we have their frustrations. And basically, the goal of this exercise, the hot buttons, is we're not shouting out to the world saying, hey, look at me. What we're doing is finding the right ear to whisper in and say, hey, we can help you. So we're going to map out frustrations, fears, wants, and aspirations. So as you'll see in the upper left corner, we have frustrations. And basically, people want to move away from frustration towards wants in the upper right quadrant. So at the top of this quadrant, we have immediate, and at the bottom, we have imagined. So on the top left, we have frustrations, top right, we have wants, and on the bottom left, we have fears that are imagined, and people want to move away from that towards aspirations. And so, one of the things we will be teaching you in more detail going forward is how to use ChatGPT in order to properly map out your avatar and their hot buttons. And so we've already talked about, do we have passion for them? Can we help them get results? And will they pay us and be profitable? So in this exercise, we're going to focus on what keeps them awake at night. What are they stressed about? What are they worried about? What are they afraid of? And then we want to ask ourselves, once we know what keeps them awake at night, what would they use a search term to find a solution for their problem? What are they going on to Google looking for? And basically, the whole premise of the hot buttons is the better we can describe an avatar's pain, the more they assume that we can solve it. So, our goal is to become experts at what their pain points are. And for the record, I'm an optimist, so I like to target what people want or aspire to. But the reality is, we can't figure out what they want or what they aspire to until we know what frustrates them and what they're afraid of. So, again, I have a process I use ChatGPT to refine this. But basically, by the time you're done mapping your avatar hot buttons, you should be really clear on who you serve and what pain you solve for them. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about building a signature system. And just to give you a little heads up, their problem is based on the hot buttons. And our promise, so this is eliminating their frustrations and fears. Our promise is delivering their wants and aspirations. So this is a signature system. We'll cover this in detail tomorrow. But for today, you don't need to get fancy. Just map this out. And on a sheet of paper, what are their frustrations? What are their wants? What are their fears? What are their aspirations? Simple exercise, easy to do, and sadly easy to not do. But the reality is, if you want to be successful, whatever success looks like for you, you need to be clear on the hot buttons that get your avatar, your perfect prospect persona to take action. So feel free to share your comments below or subscribe to the channel. Love to hear your feedback.